There is a clear virus going on right now among men. I don't know where exactly it's coming from. I suppose social media definitely had an impact on this, that's for sure. And it's becoming more and more widespread, like COVID-19 at the time, right? And this disease that I'm talking about is having to fake to be masculine, to be confident, to be the cool guy.
My sister thinks you're fake.
Because coaches like me are telling you that women love a confident man. They love also a masculine man. They love a man who has a lot of money, who has a lot of status, and blah, blah, blah. So in your head, you start thinking, okay, if women love this, then I need to become this. The thing is, you're not that yet. And because you want the quick results, right? You really want I really want to attract this woman so fast. You try to fake it, right? You try to pretend to be confident. You try to pretend to be masculine. You try to show off how cool you are, right? Maybe you rent a Ferrari for one day and you drive in your town pretending to be the cool guy, right? I'm seeing this a lot in Prague, where I'm living. Those 20-year-old boy who clearly don't have money, right? But they have a Ferrari for one day, and you can clearly see it's rented. So it's becoming more and more big, this movement of men pretending to be someone that they aren't. And I've realized this, of course, because I'm working with men and I see it firsthand. Last week, for example, I was working with a client who is in his 40s. Imagine, 40 years old and still feeling like he had to pretend to be grounded, to be masculine, to be confident, even though he isn't. This is the crazy thing. While he was texting this woman that he wanted to have a date with, he was feeling all this emotional roller coaster, right? He was feeling super nervous about sharing something. He was feeling super inadequate. He was feeling anxiety. And he was sharing basically stuff that shows that he's the cool guy, confident, grounded, and all of this. And the woman was not responding really well, right? So it was kind of funny because if you look at the texting, it's nothing bad. Why is she not texting back? This is so weird. But then you look at the energy of my client, and it becomes very obvious that this woman was not texting back, because women have this sixth sense. Whether you want it or not, they have it. And they can smell when you're faking it. The only time women don't really smell it is when they are super drunk, or maybe fat Brittany who's 100 kilograms will not really care whether you fake it or not, right? But maybe you don't want to maybe you don't want to fuck the fatty, right? Maybe you want to have a beautiful intimate experience with a very beautiful woman, right? At least that's what I care. And my clients also care about this. They don't want to, attract the fatty or the drunk lady who doesn't fucking know what she's doing, right? Because that's the only time it works, when you fake it, right? And even if it works, let's imagine you have a date and you are so good at faking it. For how long is it going to be working? Because sure, the first date, she might believe you, right, that you're faking it. Second date, she maybe start seeing how you pretend, how you're not so grounded in the end, how you're not really confident. And by the third date, it's all over, right? She will see that you're fake, because the more time you spend together, the more she will see who you really are, right? And I see this over and over and over. Guys learning the pickup line, the routine, faking confident behaviors, faking masculine behaviors, trying to look so cool and attractive, maximizing their Instagram and all of this bullshit, but at the same time, not feeling adequate, right? Really not feeling good enough, not embodying real confidence, And what ends up happening is, sure, they might have sex here and there, but they are not capable of creating long-term attraction. So if you're someone who's interested in actually attracting a long-term relationship, faking it is the wrong strategy, right? Now, if you want to have a lot of sex, you can try that, but you'll be tired of it, right? I mean, you can be a great actor, like I said, but eventually they find out. How long are you going to fuck around? 5 years? 10 years? I don't know. I mean, at one point you'll get tired of it, brother. Like, I know this to be true because I was also faking it at one point, right? I was acting like the masculine guy and everything. In fact, if you check my first YouTube video, like this is me being fully transparent and honest, my first YouTube video, you can see that the way I express myself is forced, right? And at the time, I was still teaching the pickup lines, you know? So you can see the actual evolution of myself in this YouTube channel by just looking back at how I was back then, right? So I know what I'm talking about. So the answer here is not to find the best tactic in order to attract your ideal woman, because sure, it might work on the short term, but it's not going to work in the long term. And I know that you're a man of depth. Even though maybe you're interested in, you know, fucking around a little bit, eventually you know that you want to commit to your ideal woman and have a long-term relationship with her, right? And eventually have a family together and stuff like that. If you're not this kind of man, this is probably not the right channel for you, by the way. So in that case, what you need to do, my brother, is to look inward. This is going to be a lot of internal work, because the inadequacies that you experience, the anxiety that you experience, not feeling good enough, the self-doubt, you know, the negative voice in your head telling you all these things, you know, like this self-critic, this is an internal issue. This is not an external issue, right? So yes, you've been trying to solve it externally, right? By using pickup lines, routines, techniques, faking to be the confident guy, right? Because you've heard that maybe if you fake it, then you'll make it. And I also bought into this and it didn't work out. So you'll have to go inward, right? You'll have to actually face this uncomfortable aspect of yourself that you don't want to face, right? It's fucking disgusting to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? I'm not good enough right now. That's scary to actually admit this as a man. And again, you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I don't feel good enough right now, but I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to try to slowly feel adequate as a man without needing any external validation. And this is the most important. When you do this kind of internal work, you want to unplug from everything that you're doing that is giving you the validation. So the first thing you want to do is to actually look in your life, and you're going to be shocked at what you do, what are the things that you do that secretly force you to seek validation, right? So to give you a few examples, it's very possible that you watch porn to seek validation, that you maybe have a subscription to OnlyFans. I don't know how it works. Never touched it. It's very possible that you go out in the streets to meet women to seek their validation. It's also very possible that you're trying to build a business in order to seek validation. I can go really far with this. It's possible that you go to the gym in order to seek validation. And I can go on and on and on about all the different ways that you could potentially seek external validation to feel good enough to basically show how cool you are, right? Now, here's the thing. You can build your business. You can go to the gym, but you do it for yourself, right? You don't do it to prove to your ideal woman that you're a cool guy, right? You go to the gym because you actually enjoy going to the gym. You build a business because you actually enjoy the whole process of building a business from scratch, right? You practice yoga because you enjoy the whole process of twisting your body, meditating, breathing in a certain way, chanting, and all of that, right? You're not doing this to seek validation. You're doing this to validate yourself, right? And this is the big shift that needs to happen. So that's why you look at everything that is happening in your life and you cut off all the external validation that you're seeking, and you keep only the things that you do for yourself. And you will see that there will be a lot of things happening if you truly do that. And I know it's a scary move to do. It's not easy, but it's very possible. It happened to me 3-4 years ago when I decided to fully let go of dating, because the whole idea of dating for me was to seek validation. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be celibate. I'm going to just focus on myself, not dating anyone, and I'm going to heal what is within myself. And then when I'm ready, I can go back out there, right? I also stopped running my business. I was a coach at the time. I was teaching dating, and I was like, okay, I'm going to let go of my business for some time. I had some saving a little bit, and I just decided to not work, right? To just be with myself. You know, I had a lot of free time. I also decided to stop traveling the world. I was a digital nomad. I was going all around the world, basically. I lived in Colombia. I lived in Portugal, in Spain, Croatia, Budapest, in Hungary, and, you know, in many other countries. I was really enjoying this lifestyle, but this lifestyle for me was an escape, you know, and I just cut that off. So I decided to come back to my hometown, actually, and spend some time there. And I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole story, but basically I really unplugged myself from all these things that I was doing that was in a way seeking validation, that was in a way coming from the wrong place, right? And then what I did is internal work. So you have two ways to do internal work. You can either focus on the negative emotions and heal them from the root, right? Or you can focus on a very positive emotion, like a very specific positive emotion, and really visualize it, feel it every day so that it becomes you, right? So that it makes the neuroplasticity work in such a way that instead of having negative emotion, you just feel positive emotion, right? So the first process is called parts work. You can look it up on ChatGPT or Google. And the second process is called attachment repairing. These two things will absolutely rewire your entire internal system. The way you feel, the way you think, the way you believe things, and all of that. And by doing this kind of work, you slowly start to feel good enough. You slowly build confidence, right? You slowly start to feel attractive in your own skin. And you become slowly masculine. Now you combine these two things with masculinity training. So basically facing your fears, doing what's really uncomfortable, doing what you're trying to avoid, right? So in a way it's really uncomfortable, but you want to look at in which ways are you avoiding in your life right now? What are the things that you do right now that are very avoidant, and you do that, you know, so it's a bit crazy. You can also go in nature, go camping, make your own fire, you know, reconnect with Mother Earth, really put yourself in this situation where your heart wants to go there, right? You really want to do that, but you stop yourself because you're scared, right? And by combining these three types of work, masculinity training, attachment repairing, parts work, you will become truly confident. You won't need to fake it. You won't need to fake it. This is the truth. And when you really feel and embody confidence, masculinity, and you feel attractive in your own skin, then you can start dating from a completely different place. And it's exactly what happened to me when I met my girlfriend, right? I was actually not even planning to date at the time. I was celibate, like I told you. But the opportunity came, I was ready. I mean, at the time, I didn't think I was ready, but I really was ready. And I just took that opportunity, and it came to me, and I've been in a long-term relationship for 2 years now, right? And it's the best relationship of my life. Before, I had so many toxic relationships. You know, I was the narcissist, then I was the codependent. You know, I was swinging back and forth in between the two. I got cheated on in the past. Like, bro, I went through so much shit. And now I have this like really healthy relationship where my girlfriend is devoted to me. She absolutely loves me. A few days ago, she woke me up at 1 a.m. and fucked me. 2 years in a relationship. In which relationship does this happen? This morning, woke up, did my yoga. The breakfast was ready. Literally on the table right here, behind the camera. Ready. I just had to sit and I could eat. This kind of relationship I'm talking about. And it's possible for you to attract such a woman, but you need to become a different kind of man. And it starts by stopping to fucking fake it. Seriously, brother, you don't need this in your life. If you want this kind of relationship, you don't need it, brother. Seriously. Thank you for watching. If you want to have a course, an entire course, like a whole framework to teach you how to attract one date opportunity every week with your ideal woman, click the link down below. I'm teaching the masculine alignment process. It's a really, really cool training. And it's really for free. Like, you just have to give me your email, and you can unsubscribe from the newsletter if you want. All good. Don't worry.